Yes, defense, space, and civil nuclear energy are the three main areas where India and Russia cooperate. Now, as far as space is concerned, it's a big move here because India's space mission is on. There's a manned space mission, and Russia and India are working together in terms of training and in terms of building engines for ISRO. So that apart, as far as defense is concerned, even today, 60% of India's weaponry, whether it's tanks, whether it's armored personnel carriers, warships, submarines, Sukhoi fighters, they're all Russian. And now the Russia and Ukraine have been fighting for 2 years. There is an issue with spares. There is an issue with maintenance. This is something India wants to avoid, which is why there will be talk, there will be discussions, there could well be a pact to ensure that India continues to get the spares it needs and the maintenance. Besides that, to add to those three, you can add trade and logistics. You can expect a logistics pact, and there is the trade corridor already there, Vladivostok to Chennai, and that could get a more focus. Besides that, trade is an issue where India needs to export more. And if India needs to export more, Russia has to buy more stuff because Russia has been selling a lot of oil to India, and the focus will also be on huge increases in Indian exports.
Right, Srinjoy, do stay on with us and do help us understand, is Prime Minister Modi's Russia visit only just about business bilateral relations, or is the Prime Minister, via this visit, also sending out a message to the world by hugging Mr. Putin? And how will Zelensky's statement affect India's views of its relation with Ukraine and its benefactors? Do help us understand that as well.
Yes, of course, this is a bilateral meeting, but the world is watching. And the world watched when President Putin and Prime Minister Modi hugged. It has to be said, though, that Prime Minister Modi's hug is almost a trademark. That hug you have seen with President Biden, even before that with President Obama, most world leaders, that is something that Prime Minister Modi goes with. But of course, the West will not like it. A lot of Western leaders will not like it. In fact, President Zelensky of Ukraine and the Ukrainians and the Russians have been fighting for the last 2 years. President Zelensky has said that he's bitterly disappointed, and this is not good for peace. Now, the point is that just recently, President Zelensky and Prime Minister Modi met, and they had a long meeting. And the one point that Prime Minister Modi has been making, and the one point that the Indian government has been making, is that the war has to end. And not only does the war end, but there should be talks, there should be discussions, there should be negotiations. And in no way has India ever supported the war. If you remember, Prime Minister Modi even told President Putin several years ago that the 21st century is not a time for war.